Welcome to the Liberated Feminine Podcast. I'm Lucy Lampy, your host, and in this episode, I'm going to try to keep it brief. All right, this is impromptu. I don't even have for those of you watching the video, I don't have my jewelry on, nothing. Look, I'm showing up. The baby just woke up. I've got a good maybe 10 minutes to walk you through this shit, okay? The connection between the horrific things in the Epstein files that are coming to light, which we still are, there's a fraction of the bigness of it, that and sexual shadow work. Because in the collective sexual shadow, which I've been saying for years, there is no collective healing without exploring and integrating that sexual shadow. The most vile, disgusting, horrific things exist in that shadow. I'm not going to go into the details. You've seen the things about the files, you know enough, right? Only those who have not integrated and owned and come into the fullness of their sexual energy, right? The wholeness of who they are, what they literally came from. Everything comes from sexual energy. Everything is created, right? Only those will feel the need to abuse, to exploit, to power over, to do all these horrific things. And so the sexual shadow is at the crux of all of it. It's at the crux of the violence when it has to do with life. This has to do with life force. This has to do with being in control, being in power. And there's a reason that when we explore the kinky side of things, when you begin to, and even in the things that I've guided many people through, when we explore in safe spaces, in consensual spaces with boundaries and pre-negotiated things that are on the edge, things that are taboo, things that are, in the darker textures of your sexuality. Every time that you choose to do that in a safe space, you are contributing to the healing of the collective sexual shadow. Why is that? Because you are daring to confront the parts of you that you have categorized as disgusting, as unacceptable, as too dark, too devious, too, whatever. And you have dared to come face to face with those parts of yourself and explore them again in a consensual way, in a safe place, within a community, perhaps. And this frees the shame that existed there that would otherwise continue to drive you to unconsciously hurt other people, attempting to lord power over others, or even having some kind of a and bear with me here, okay, I'm trying to find the right words, it's delicate, to even subtly take advantage of other people. And all of this lives in our sexual shadow. This is a huge part of the why of the work that I do. Now, the awareness of human exploitation is not new to me. This is why I have this tattoo that I've had for 14 years now. It was my very first tattoo. It says "End Slavery," and it does not scan. No, it's a symbolic code. Because I first became aware of these horrific things, and I thought, oh my God, how is this happening? My two oldest daughters, who are now grown, they're teenagers now, older teenagers, were just little girls at the time, and I could not imagine the things that I learned about happening to them. And I thought, oh my God, what can I do? What can I do? And so I started to volunteer with these organizations that help to basically get survivors back on their feet and mobilize people who can help people get out of these situations, and be of support to the vulnerable populations that are usually preyed upon. So none of this is new to me. It's not shocking. Sadly, I am not surprised personally, but it is disgusting. It is disgusting, and it is vile, and it is deeply, deeply disturbing and sad. I've had my manifestation of some physical disgust, working its way through my body, the past few days, and it just keeps bringing me back to this piece about the sexual shadow. that every time that those of you who come to me to have these conversations, or you tune into this podcast, or you take one of my courses, or you've been to one of my retreats or workshops, and you dare to explore the fringes of your sexuality, I just want you to know that maybe what brings you into that space is the hope of having better orgasms, or having better sex with your partner, or being able to feel more vibrant in your body. And all of these are absolutely incredible benefits of doing this healing work. And I want you to understand the impact that that has on the greater scope of humanity, on the collective, because the more sexual shame that we heal, the more of the sexual shadow that we explore and integrate on an individual and microcosm and community level, it impacts, it ripples out into the collective. Absolutely what we need is systemic change. Okay, people need to be brought to justice. The collective feminine is rising. All this language that you might be hearing, all these planets moving into Aries, things moving into quick, directed action, but not impulsive action, purposeful, methodical action. All of this is tied into working directly and intimately with our sexual shadow. Without this piece, I am telling you, it just doesn't work. It's not complete. And we are talking about the consciousness of humanity shifting at the most fundamental level, where our life force energy is involved, where creation energy is involved. We're also talking about, in the spiritual sense and of divine union, sacred union, the masculine and feminine coming into union. This is a part of exposing the depth of the masculine shadow, the masculine wound, so that we can heal in that regard and bring that into the wholeness, so that we have no more of these fucking gender wars. It's not like men are shit or women are shit. Like there is just a lot of fear-driven programming that leads to people taking action out of fear, feeling the need to control, needing to feel like they are above the law. Having this, like, I can do whatever I want. I am bigger than whoever can prosecute me. Nobody can touch me. Untouchable. And a lot of that is expressed in a sexual way. Why do you think that a lot of the people who are in these positions of power are exploiting others sexually? It is the biggest form of expressing dominance. And this is not new. You look throughout history of people, raping and pillaging and then procreating with the people that they're conquering. It's like, no, now my DNA lives through you. Like, well, we're talking about creation energy here. And there is no coming into wholeness with the power of our creation energy without doing the sexual shadow work. Okay, so enough with that. What the hell does this even look like in real life? Okay, well, I've already given a little bit of an example there where it looks like doing our own work, right? In a very personal, intimate way. Finding the resources, the communities, the spaces where you can explore these parts of yourself in a way that is grounded and rooted in love, a way that is anchored into love, so that even if you are exploring the depths of your darkness, you're always coming back to this place of love. There is this bigger vision, this bigger pull, this bigger rootedness into a greater love. And you're always returning back to that. Now, if this sounds a little bit out there and esoteric to you, okay, cool. Maybe this is all new for you and you're like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I'm turning this off. I'm done. I don't even know. I don't understand. I don't follow. That's okay. Just let it soak in. Let it soak in. Let it do its work in you. But with your sexual shadow, it's also worth exploring with your partner. Okay, what is it that you feel like, oh, I can't play out that scenario with my partner because I don't actually want to hurt them. I don't actually want to control them. but something about that turns me on. Something of, oh, it's like taboo. And I feel like an arousal when I think about that. Explore that. I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying that, but explore, like, what is beneath that? For example, let's say you have a fantasy of being dominated by a group of powerful men. Okay, let's say that you are a woman. I've had countless of these conversations with women throughout the many years I've been working in sexuality and sexual healing. And this is a very common one, that women will have almost like a rape fantasy. Some of them is an outright rape fantasy. And what a lot of them have found is that it points to a deeper desire to just be taken care of, to be forced to just surrender, to be pleasured even when they don't want to. Like, they can fight it. They can be like, no, I don't deserve it. I don't want to. I don't want it. And they're like, no, you're gonna. Same thing with forced orgasms. Same thing with a lot of these, like kidnapping scenarios where women will fantasize that someone just whisks them away. And look at it in the movies. These movies are so popular too. What was that? That 365 movie where the woman was literally kidnapped and held against her will, and then she fell in love with the guy, and it was like this big love story. Why does this speak to a part of us? Do not hold on to the shame that comes up in that. Just get curious. Play with it. And this right here is where it can be so powerful and healing and liberating to be able to, A, talk about these things, and B, actually play with these scenarios, again, in a consensual way. In, like, for example, my good friend Kimmy Inch, who hosts these kink and eros, kink and conscious sexuality events. I think she has one coming up. It's probably too late for you to sign up now, but just look her up, Kimmy Inch. She's got them throughout the year. And that's a deeply transformative for people, because you're experiencing in your body the releasing of this shame that otherwise is manifesting in ways like porn addiction, violent porn addiction, having a passive aggressiveness with your partner, having weird like sexual power dynamics, or something much more disturbing. So however you can explore your sexual shadow, I'm just here to say it is more important than you may think. It is more important than you may know. And let's see, what resources do I have? This is really on the fly. We're 12 minutes in. This is good. This is complete. I have a Dark Feminine Codes course for the women, with some sexual and erotic shadow workbooks. Let's see, what else do we have? I have a workshop tomorrow, Lovers, the Masterclass, but that's, again, we're focused on the personal lovership and the lovership with a partner. So it's not directly about sexual shadow work, but we're going into some of these taboo themes and into more of the dark textures so that you can liberate that and bring that into your world. Bring that integrated self, integrated shadow into your community. So however you find space to be more whole, to come into wholeness with the core essence of who you are in your sexual energy. It's so much bigger than your orgasms, than your sex life, than having like the romance of your dreams. Yes, that, and all of that has so much more to do with the collective healing that we so desperately need in this world than you may realize. Let me know your thoughts below. And I know this is really, again, just very sudden and not planned. I'm just, this is what's coming through is what's there. All right. So I hope that this is a valuable conversation starter for you and gets your wheels turning. All right. Well, thank you for joining me today. And until next time, here's to liberating your wild feminine heart.